And I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if they will be. So I'm going to
You've
go
been
with the
pretty
one
bad
that I
with that
think
so
will be
far today.
less interesting.
Yeah.
Because you guys are wrong.
You're wrong.
That's just
You're
because
the
you
one
guys
who's
are
been
wrong,
wrong this whole episode. You've
and
been
I'm sticking
wrong on
to that.
everything.
Oh, you're wrong.
Go on.
You're right. I was absolutely
Right,
wrong
just
on
like
picking Donovan.
taking L's.
You're right. I was absolutely wrong on picking Donovan Mitchell. I guess it doesn't matter then. So we're gonna go with. I guess it doesn't matter then. So we're gonna go with. I think this one will be less interesting. Zion versus Jayson Tatum. Go on, Angelo.
Oh man.
Who are you taking?
So
Pull up.
Jayson Tatum is having an amazing year. In fact, when I looked at this, the first thing that shocked me was that Jayson Tatum is actually averaging more rebounds
Absolutely.
a game than Zion. That really surprised me. I'm not gonna lie. Zion also had more assists than Jayson. That surprised me as well. This one was actually really close, and I think I'm gonna go with Jayson Tatum, mainly for 31 points per game, 88 rebounds, 4 assists, 47% from the field, 35 from 3, 24 PER, 5.5 win shares. When I did the research, I just want to make sure that it's 5.9 now. I think Jayson Tatum is generally the better player. I think Jayson Tatum's health is way more secure than Zion's. I think, in a weird way, I think Zion is kind of like Shaq, where Zion is the more dominant player for sure, but Jayson is the guy I would want to build around, and I think he's having a better season.
I agree with you, actually. I agree with you, actually. I am taking Tatum here. I said
Yeah.
early in the season, and I don't think it was on the podcast, I think it was just in a conversation, that
Didn't you call him
I thought
MVP?
that Zion would be the points leader. I've so far been wrong about that, but there is
Okay.
time. I said that he was my dark horse for MVP.
No.
He
Yeah.
has not lived up to that. He's obviously having an exceptional year, and I'm not saying he's at
No.
any stretch of the imagination having a bad season. It's just Jayson Tatum
Yeah.
has been having an MVP season.
I think one.
Um,
I think one of the players we're about to talk to next has a much
Zion
better case, but
go ahead.
yeah.
I think both of the players we're about to talk about have a much better case. But I think
Yeah.
he's up there. I think he would be my third vote if I was a voting person. He's a better. I don't want to say a better defender, but a more
No,
versatile
100%.
defender.
100% on that
More
too.
versatile scorer.
It was shocking to me to see Zion actually is having a better season from 3 than Jayson, but I'm sure that's also because Zion's taking butt naked threes and Jason's taking contested threes as well. But
Less.
yeah.
Yeah. And like at the buzzer, and yeah, it's. And also, just again, this is from an outsider point of view. I don't watch. Like, I watch the games. I don't watch like all the press conferences or anything like that. But it seems like Tatum is more of a developed leader, which is saying something, because he's on a team with
Yep.
Al Horford, who we know is a great leader. I don't see that on the floor as much from Zion. CJ McCollum has definitely been that role this year. And that's, if I'm building around a star player, I want them to be the loudest voice in the room. I want them to be the guy that everyone else is turning to. And Jayson Tatum, he talks the talk and he walks the walk. He is, as you already said, his stats are across the board
Assists,
better
yeah.
than Zion's, except for I think
And the efficiency stuff,
assists
but
are slightly, yeah, they're slightly skewed. His the
yeah,
advanced stats kind of skew towards Zion, but at the same time,
yeah, he's
Tatum
the
is
best
on the
player.
best team in the NBA.
Yep.
He has he's the best player on the best team in the NBA. So he's going to get not necessarily more or less looks because he still is the guy on that team. He's going to be taking more shots. He's going to be having the ball in his hands more than anyone else. But the Celtics don't live or die on Jayson Tatum. If
Yeah.
Tatum's having a bad night, they've got other players they can turn to.
I'm about to say that Pelicans
Yes,
team
Zion
isn't
has
bad
BI and
either,
CJ and
honestly.
Herb Jones, or yeah, it's not a bad team. It's just the Celtics. Like there's a lot of teams on or a lot of teams in this league where Jaylen Brown would be the best player on that team.
No.
Do you disagree? You're okay. I was gonna say. So to be fair, there's a lot of players or teams in the league that where Brandon Ingram would be the best player on that team, but
Yeah.
I think Jaylen Brown's a better player. Um, so I'm my devil's advocate argument
Zion
against
Williamson
Brandon Ingram
for
for
Jayson
Zion.
Tatum.
Yes. So for Zion over Tatum, I don't have one because this. So we haven't seen Zion until this year since 2020.
Yeah.
He's already had injury issues this year. It's scary. It's
I think he's
when
gonna
he's on the
be.
floor, he's one
I
of the
think he's
most
gonna be
dominant
this
players in the league.
generation's like what if
But he's
Shaq,
got to get on the
because
floor
I do like he is probably the most no, not probably, he is the most dominant player physically in the NBA right now, and I think that you know
physically.
I think he could compete for titles, especially with that team around him. But I don't think he's gonna play enough games, and I don't. He needs. He's at the. I hate to say this.
And
He's
that's
kind of
my
like
concern
Kawhi,
is
where he needs a team that is built to make the playoffs, regardless of if he plays or not, and then hope he's healthy in the playoffs, and then they make a run.
yeah, that's what I would also say. Austin, what's your thoughts?
Yep.
I'm Tatum all the way, but I'm also like a partial Celtics fan because of Jaylen Brown. So
Yeah, I also
So
I can watch the Celtics just to watch Brown. Like he is one of my favorite players in the league right now.
yeah,
His
and
the
I'm just
way
worried
he
about Zion's health. That's
yeah the
what's
health
keeping
is
me.
the biggest drawback. Um, but when
yeah,
he's on the floor, very sexy player. You know what else is sexy? Segways.